Well, good morning. It's Wednesday. I'm meteorologist Tom Sorrells, Florida Weather Authority time. Dolly, soon or not? It's time for your tropical update. Try to keep you up to date on what's happening in the tropics, in Florida, all across our state, in the ocean, temperatures, and anything else that might be of interest to you. Real quick note, if you have questions, just send them to us at floridaweatherauthority@gmail.com. That's Florida Weather Authority at gmail.com. Let's get to rolling. Let's get the show on the road here and show you what's happening out here today with our big invest that's way out there across the open waters of the Atlantic. Way over here, the one we're looking at, that right there, that is what we would call potential tropical storm Dolly. But right now, it's still just an invest, just doing its thing, trying to get its act together. Right behind it comes another wave. We'll talk more about that a little later in this presentation. This is what the system looks like this morning. You tell me now, does that look like much to you? Big news this morning is the folks at the Hurricane Center have downgraded this from a 70% shot of developing to only a 60% chance of it developing in the coming 5 days. So when I look at it this morning, it looks pretty big to me. It looks like it certainly isn't moisture starved, but you watch it. You see all the lightning strikes around the top and everything looks impressive, but it's a big gobbled up mess, right? You look at that and you don't find a center. That's not pretty. That's not very well put together. It has the possibility, as I just said, a 60% chance of developing. But here's the deal. It's going to move now in the next probably 48 hours to an area without a whole lot of shear. But beyond that, boom. If it doesn't have its act together, things will get more hostile for this by, I say, Friday. So Friday night, if it hasn't developed into a tropical storm, and it's progged to probably be a tropical storm by late tonight or early tomorrow, then I'm not impressed with it. If it doesn't make it by Saturday, it's going to be sayonara, and that is not going to be Dolly. But right now, I'm still thinking that it shall. You watch it develop here, kind of flattened out on this side. The top part of the convection seems to be waning, but this is explosive down through here. So it does look powerful with no pure closed low, no pure center of rotation. We will watch it. Here's the cone of uncertainty according to the Hurricane Center. I can tell over the course of the next 4 to 5 days, not much going on with that. But look at this track as the models extend on out. That's a pretty good run. By about Sunday, if it's still together, it would be threatening the Lesser Antilles. So that would mean that the folks here from, say, St. Martin, Montserrat, Dominica, you guys would be getting some rain, some high wind, some decent interaction. And then it makes that big bend away from the Turks Caicos. It starts to head on up and become more of a fish storm, rolling its way into the North Atlantic. Here's all the models for you. The modeling looks pretty good. They're all in pretty good agreement. Now, it's not a pure cable, not an exact agreement, but you do see some pretty good lineage there. It's going to hang together. Everything's going to jog westward. This is the first big Cape Verde wave to hold together this long. The other two that were were chumps. Didn't do much. Fell apart. This one's going to hold together long enough to kind of concern us for a while. Again, give it 48 hours. We will know so much more if it survives the next 2 days and becomes organized about just what kind of a threat it's going to be for you folks over there in the Lesser Antilles and in the Caribbean, and then maybe even Haiti and the Dominican Republic around the northern side. It should track just north of the islands as far as any huge impacts, but it could bring needed rain to some of the folks in those zones that have been doing without rain for a while now. Most especially Puerto Rico. If you guys get lucky and get some rain out of this, that'd be great. Otherwise, I'm thinking that we're going to have to wait 48 hours to decide whether we believe this is going to be a Dolly or not. Could be Dolly tonight, according to the modeling, but we will wait and see. Here's what the GFS does with this thing. Brings it straight over and then bang, brings it back up and back out. So all the ensembles, the initializations look like that. Does that scare you? Shouldn't. Certainly doesn't look like it's going to be a player for Florida. Looks like it could be a big player, though, for the folks in the Lesser Antilles. And again, the St. Martin, St. Kitts, all that zone for you guys. That could be your system, and it could have a name by tonight. Good. Hey, I want to talk a little bit about water temperatures and, the El Nino thing. Look at this zone right here in the equatorial Pacific. Wow. It just keeps getting hotter. This is about as hot as I've ever seen it. Getting crazy. And this area has expanded since last Wednesday. Since I last talked to you last week, this has blown up a little bit more. I'm going to try to get something together later this week talking about the impacts of this for our weather in Florida as we head toward our winter season. Real quick now, this graphic is from the University of Miami, the ocean heat content. I love it, love it, love it. But look at that bullseye in the Gulf. Now, all the research is telling me that that's a top surface temp. It's not very deep. So if something were to happen in the Gulf, if we got a big low in there, if we got something to develop and churn it up just a little, it would dissipate a lot of this boiling hot water up on top. Man, these temps are just super anomalous, super warm, all the way from the Caribbean, right through the Florida Straits, right up here. All this zone, it's crazy. It's absolutely crazy how hot things are. For example, look at this. Look at that temperature in Tampa. It's up to 88 degrees for a surface temperature right now. Surface temperature down here in Key West, about the same, almost 89. That means the water is almost 90 degrees. About 8 to 10 degrees above what we need for tropical development. It's there. The pump is primed. Only thing is, the setup is not good aloft. So the ocean's hot, plenty hot. Down here around St. Kitts, 83 degrees, 84 degrees outside of San Juan, 84.6 north of the Dominican Republic, and 85 up here in the Turks and Caicos. So it's hot. Everything's hot. A little closer to home, away from the tropics, let's talk about your thunderstorms and the big rain that's coming in later today. Not a lot of action in the Gulf, but we're waiting on thunderstorms to develop. We're not marginal. We're like general convection. Some of the storms today could get wind speeds of 50 to 55. And let's be serious, man. Anytime we get a storm this time of year with these kind of temperatures, winds can get to 55 without batting an eye. So I can't rule out that some of you might run upon a severe thunderstorm later this afternoon, but for the most part, I think it's just general thunder shower activity, and maybe you'll end up with some showers. Let me take me out of the corner. Let's talk about Gainesville. Gainesville today, you guys have a temperature reading by noon of 86. Wind from the southwest at 7. Temperature reading by 2 o'clock, 91, and then the scattered showers begin to take over by 3 o'clock. Some of the rain will cool you down. Outflow boundaries will tag you, and we'll knock it off. Instead of going to like 97 like we did last week, we'll top out about 92 or 93. Daytona Beach hour-by-hour forecast for today. Are you heading to the beach? That wind from the southwest is important. Pay attention to these winds right here. Little stronger support today in Daytona Beach, Volusia County, Brevard County, pushing some of that East Coast sea breeze farther inland. So by 1 o'clock, 87, temperature 89 by 3 p.m., 87. This is a look at the modeling for what radar should look like across the country by about 7 o'clock tonight. Look at all this activity right here, lined up across the peninsula of the state of Florida. There you go. So we're talking about scattered showers building as the day wears on. I've pushed the modeling ahead here to about 2 o'clock. That's 2. That's 7. That's about 9 or 10. Again, starting out at 2 o'clock, sea breeze comes in and smacks right over top of Orlando between 5 and 7. And then some of the moisture blows back out to the west coast. Again, this is happening today in this pattern because the East Coast sea breeze gets a little more of a push, a little more inland shove, and a little farther north today. With that wind from the southwest along our East Coast, that's going to provide us with a better shot of rain across the interior as the East Coast sea breeze does its march inland, which is all good. All great for my lawn. It has not rained here for about 4 or 5 days of any note in southwest Orange County. So I'll be looking for these scattered showers. Look up here around Gainesville. You see the rain beginning, boom, there about 5 or 6. And Osceola County's been doing better, getting more rain than Orange County here in the last 4 to 5 days. So has Brevard. So we're talking about rain chances today that look pretty good. Could be as high as 60 or 70%. Cross your fingers, 2 thumbs up. Let's do it. 6 to 10 day temperature outlook. Do you need this graphic? Do you? It's August. Almost September, I know. Almost, but August and everything after, we don't turn the corner for another 6 weeks. Come mid-September, I'll start to feel better than when we get to October. We'll be dancing. But between now and then, it's just hot. It just is. And that's the way it goes. All right, 7-day forecast for you. Daytime high today, 93 smoking degrees in Orlando. Rain chances build after 2 or 3 o'clock. Tomorrow, same drill, 92. Friday, 92. And look, down the road, as far as Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday of next week, it's all the same. even if Dolly does develop in the tropics, I really don't think it's much of a player for us in Florida. That would be a Lesser Antilles problem, and we will keep you posted on all of that right here on the Florida Weather Authority, or Amy Sweezy, me, Tom Sorrells, and Dr. Rob Eicher. Thank you for listening. We'll see you tomorrow.